Hello everyone, Bill Wilson, Senior Editor of Supermarket News with another episode of SN Off the Shelf. Last month I was at Grocery Shop 2023 in Las Vegas, where I had the opportunity to talk with Chad Fox, who is a Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Dollar General. And we talked about the discount retailers' strategy when it comes to retail media. So enjoy the interview. So, talk about Dollar General's retail media strategy, because it does differ from the norm.
Yeah. So from a retail media standpoint for us, it really started more with, the move to digital media just as a marketing team, as a marketing department, and the realization that in the world of digital media, in order to reach the rural customer, you have to have some certain things in place. One, you need a really strong set of first-party data, and secondly, you need the ability to do closed-loop measurement, both incrementality and attribution. And when we realized that, and we put those steps in place to make us just a stronger marketing team and the ability to generate demand for our company, then we realized, hey, we've got a large number of vendors or suppliers that are making the same transition as us out of linear and terrestrial media into digital media, and they are unknowingly optimizing out of rural America. We can help them with that. And so that really was the insight that gave birth to the idea of we've got a strong value proposition that is very differentiating versus other retail media. We've got a reason for going to do this, and we can grow our vendors' businesses while also growing our own business.
I believe you said a lot of your retail media is off-site.
That's right.
You want to talk about that approach
and
how that works?
No, it's a great question. And so, because of it's the unique nature of our footprint and nearly 20,000 stores in rural America, we also have a very unique customer set. And so our data, we have roughly 90 million unique customer profiles with 1,400 derived attributes that can be appended to them. So that's really the foundation of everything. And because of that, we do tend to go to market more as an audience provider that is able to deliver this extended unduplicated reach to our advertisers. And because it's an audience provider, we go where that audience is. And so where most others start on site in an in-app lowest funnel, and that's where they're building out retail media first, and they're starting to kind of dabble with going off site. We had that. I think we all know we don't have a massive digital commerce business, but we have this unique audience set. So we went off site. And so our first partnership that we struck was with the Trade Desk, because it's the open internet, right? And so to be able to reach those customers where they are, and then we started asking ourselves, okay, well, what other partners do we want to bring on? We got to be able to leverage our deterministic first-party data. We need to be able to close the loop. If we can't those are table stakes for being retail media. And we need to be able to extend the reach beyond what we have with Trade Desk, and there needs to be a demand for it. So we very quickly added Meta, and we were a first to market in retail media with Meta to be able to push our audiences there and close the loop. No one else still is able to do that other than us. And we just finished up our alpha with Google, specifically on YouTube, to do the exact same thing, another first to market.
So you just mentioned two first market innovations.
Yeah.
Are there others that you can talk about that Dollar General has really set the stage for?
Those are the two biggest ones.
Yeah.
We've been at this for a year and a half, and again, we launched with Trade Desk and then a fast follow with those two. We have others on the roadmap that are coming, but nothing that I really want to speak to right now.
Yeah, totally. So talk about the younger shopper, the ones that are more digitally centric.
Mm-hmm.
Are you finding yourself really starting to cater to that audience, and in what way do you think?
Yeah, I would say when you look at our customer base, whether that's our attitudinal and behavioral segmentation, more traditional segmentation study, or what we see in the first party data. And there's a very strong correlation to the behaviors, that we see there. We over-index on our customer being the millennial generation. And now they're to the point to where they're older millennials, but I would say that that's certainly the center of who our customer set is. Those customers over-index on being multicultural, they over-index on being larger households, and they over-index on being digitally engaged. So, I've been at DG for 4.5 years. Whenever I first got there, I would say the DG customer was probably lagging the rest of the country on digital engagement, but the growth rate was outpacing the U.S. Now our customer is caught up to the U.S. and digital is just who they are. And but when you think of their digital engagement with DG, the number one reason that they come to our site every week is to look at digital coupons. We've been doing that since 2014. So we built that behavior over the last nearly 10 years. The number two reason they come is to look at our weekly ad. And you heard me talking there about the weekly ad moving from it being a PDF experience, which is pretty much what all grocers have today, but to be a more digitally immersive experience where you can just move things over and put them in, on your shopping list and have a running tally. But the number three reason that customers, come to the site and come to the app, and this really, came about over the last 3 years during the pandemic, is for pre-shopping activity. Does DG have it? What is the price? And is it in stock? And as a matter of fact, we launched DG Pickup during the pandemic. It was we launched it chain-wide in October of 2020, and the adoption rate was much lower than what we thought it would be. But when we talk to customers about it, they're like, no, I mean, it's just so easy to park. It's easy to get in there and pay for things and get out. I don't necessarily need to pull up, beside the store and get it put in the trunk. But what we found though, and this was an interesting insight, is the customer, though they're still using the platform, they're dragging things over, they're putting in their cart, they're seeing their basket fill up, and they have how much it's going to cost, and we give them the option to apply coupons along the way, or to get one more and get a discounted price per ounce or unit or whatever that may be. And so with our customer, what we've learned is one of the most embarrassing things that can happen is if they are in checkout and have people that they know in the community behind them, or their kids, they only have so much money in their pocket or in their checking account, and everything rings up and they don't have enough money to pay for it all, right? And so this enables our customer to plan it down to a penny and to extract all the savings that we're able to offer, whether it's the TPR, that's sell, that's a digital coupon. We're now introducing DG Cashback, and that'll be across all customers digitally in the next couple of weeks to complement that. And so that that is a way that we're delivering from a digital standpoint for this digitally engaged customer, which does tend to be the millennial shopper.
Can you talk about this endeavor with Meta as far as what you've been getting out of it, and maybe what you hope to get out of the one with Google?
Yeah. So one is just the closed loop nature of it, because that's not something anyone has been able to do before. And I think because we went offsite first, we've been able to strike some strategic partnerships with platforms, other walled garden platforms out there going, how is this retail media phenomena going to impact us, right? Because most retail media, they think of as their own walled garden on their own site and their own app. And we went out quickly and said, hey, let's partner. So to be able to partner and get to a clean room environment where we can share data and have random sampling and measure both attribution and incrementality, I think is huge. And then, like I said earlier, I mean, the other one is extended reach. because the folks that are on the open internet, there's a ton of incremental users and viewers that are on meta platforms that may not be, where we may not be able to get on as efficiently, or the kind of engagement that we're able to get on the open internet. And when I look at Google, Google's a great partner. I don't know, but there's a lot of Google that it would just be cannibalistic to the trade desk. But YouTube is incremental reach. YouTube is a much different platform that enables us to talk to the customer in multiple ways throughout the funnel, right? Whether that is a higher level reach play with more of an equity approach, all the way down to more conversion.
So in the next 5 years, where do you see retail media? How do you see it playing out? I mean, do you see Dollar General maybe going more on site at all, increase compared to now? Or?
Yeah. So we certainly started off site. I think we've got a competitive advantage there. We need to maintain or accelerate that competitive advantage, but there's no doubt that there's a lot of opportunity on site and in the app. And as we continue to grow and to increase our digital engagement with the customer from a commerce, not just a product standpoint like I talked a minute ago, but from a commerce standpoint, that inventory will begin to manifest, and that will start to change the ratio of where we are today. So we're at 90-10 or 80-20 is what I said earlier. I think 70-30 is probably the mix that we're looking for, which would still be the inverse of everyone else and unique. But you look at things like our business with DoorDash and how well that's doing. There is no doubt. The customer's been trained a certain way for site to home. They want it in 2 days and they want it for free. And they've been trained a certain way for curbside. And I think if you think about DG, we have 20,000 mini fulfillment centers in the U.S., and 80% of them are in communities of 20,000 people or less. And so looking at what we see with our partnership with DoorDash, there is no doubt that there's a demand for store-to-door delivery. And I think that will continue to grow over the next 5 years, which will feed into more inventory on the site.
All right.